Welcome back to Simply Footy. Now let's talk SANFL. And Sturton South Adelaide were forced to play a trial game today because of the state game bye. Their byes fall on either side of the week. They would have had 2 weeks off unless they played today. Sturt's doubly miffed because they had the same problem last year. And Port Adelaide's Tim Ginniver says the state game should be played on the Friday night before the long weekend in June. And then a full round of matches on the Monday. It could work. Big Robbie Gerard has signed on as sponsor with the Roosters again. That's for 5 more years, taking his commitment to 22 consecutive years. He's a rich man, but he doesn't mind sharing it. And if you want to know what North Adelaide's doing with that money, you better grab Monday's Advertiser.
Thank you, Doug. Doug Robertson there from the Adelaide Advertiser.
Wiz, there's been a lot of talk about some of this state's young footballers, including Bryce Gibbs and James Salah. But there are other likely types.
There are. The Under-18 Championships coming up later next month, so we took this opportunity to catch up with the coach, Darren Trevina.
Yeah, look, all the talk's been around Bryce and James, and I suppose my concern is that the other guys going in might think that they're going to win the championships for them. Now, we need to be competitive, and everyone needs to make sure that they pull their weight and have a crack at it. So this year we've been fortunate enough to have 9 guys play league football with SANFL, which is fantastic with the way the SANFL is going. You know, it's a great game, and the boys are performing well at that level. Some of those guys, Lindsay Thomas has been playing for Port Magpies. We've had a game at senior level, so that's fantastic. Shane Edwards and Todd Piper have been at North Adelaide and had a run as well. Other guys are Tom Anderson at Sturt, and also young Tom Hurley as well, who picked up 35 possession the last couple of weeks. So those guys have been performing real well. The other run that's standing up, I suppose, is Sam Jacobs at Woodville West Torrens, who big ruckman, 205 centimetres, probably a little bit like Paul Lindsay himself, had a run last weekend, and all this puts them in good stead. But when they come back, they've got to realise it's just not going to happen for them. They've got to make it happen at the championships to perform well.
Yes, we wish the boys well at the championships, as I said, a little bit later next month.
Wiz?
Yep.
You've heard the phrase, it's a jungle out there?
Yeah.
Who's the king of the jungle?
The lion.
Exactly. Who's close behind?
The tiger.
Exactly. Guess what they did last week?
You've done well. I like your African theme. Hey, let's have a look at some highlights from last week, some magic moments. You can have a little snooze here because you're very uninspired, aren't you?
Bored.
Our round 8. We did find a couple, though. Magic moments from round 8.
Down goes Black after the football. Symes gets it away. Loney been dangerous. A couple of bounces down towards half forward. He can score from here. 65 metres out. It's a long kick. It's a goal. Can goal.
Ebert's on the move and he overruns it. What a great mark that was.
Extra carry with the ball and he had to adjust when he'd already left the ground.
Just wanted to show his full repertoire of skills.
Could go over you.
He might go all the way. What a mark and goal combination. Symes inside 50. Ebert, magnificent mark. Shades of death there. And he has been a live wire on the forward line. And he's got Ackermanis, the man he's on at the moment. He loads up with the kick from 55. Big flight to Luca. He's not in the way anymore.
That's the way you want him to get in the way.
Shirley, McLeod, you've got to give some credit to the Tigers. This is a better build-up. No one coming at him. Such is the way of modern footy. And John Cock kicks the goal and puts the Crows in front.
Thompson, handball to Edwards, now to Dowdy. So Crows need something here. Long towards half forward. Burton, clever mark. Spectacular he is. 1 or 2 kicks off target and he'll let the Crows back in. Deledio kicks across the face. Prosciutto, here's a chance. McLeod will run into a goal.
Goodwin, can he hit Prosciutto? Oh, yes, he can. And he's a big kick. Will he wind the arc here? He can see a vacant square. He can see goals. He can see there's still a chance of victory.
Now here's your chance to win a $150 Reebok voucher thanks to Rowan Jarman, Reebok and the great guys at Simply Footy. Just select your favourite magic moment, then pick up the phone and dial 1900 957 238. If you want to vote for Magic Moment 1, Brett Ebert's mark, follow the prompt and press 1. If you like Magic Moment 2, Brett Burton's grab, dial the number and press 2. And if you like Magic Moment 3, Andrew McLeod's running goal, listen to the instructions and press 3. The winner will be drawn at random from the moment which receives the most votes. Lines close at midnight on Sunday, and the lucky winner will be contacted next week by Network 10. Last week's winner was Dale Schultz from Saddleworth. Congratulations, big guy. Okay, time for the Simply Footy votes now. Can you inspire yourself?
I'm just not really interested.
Oh, come on, you've got to give some votes.
What would happen if I didn't?
Well, Dean Bender at Dreamland would be upset.
Actually, I should give some votes. Let's have a look at the Crows votes, why don't we? If we can pick some decent players from last week. 7 votes for Andrew McLeod, 7 for Ben Rutten, 7 for Tyson Edwards. That's it.
In the Power Brisbane game, Lady got 7, Steve Salopek got 7 and young Brad Symes got 6.
So the leaderboard looks like this. Brendan Lade on top, 36, believe that. Chad Corns on 31. Simon Goodwin on 30. Tyson Edwards on 29.
And thanks to Dreamland, South Australia's #1 betting store, our Player of the Year will take home a queen-size Sleepmaker sports ensemble, ideal for every athlete. And don't forget, for all your betting needs, get into Dreamland and remember what Dean Bendel always says, if anyone says they can do a better deal, tell them they're dreaming.
I could do with a Dreamland bed right now.
I could just see you cuddling up.
I just don't want to be here today.
Well, fire up, because we've still got plenty more to come on the show.
This is our 5th year and this is the first time I've ever done it. But I just can't be bothered today. I can't be bothered, Corey.
Really?
Can't be bothered. Whatever, you just do what you got to do.
We'll get someone else to come on sit on the couch.
Oh, don't get upset and get all tanty with
well,
me.
I just reckon lift your game.
I'll do my best.
Are a sook. No, go. See, I don't want you anymore. See ya. No, I'll get someone else in. We've got plenty more to come on the show. After the break, we'll get rid of Poppy, but we still have to meet a Tiger and a Crow. He's our blast from the past. Our spin on last week's basketball game, plus Footy helping Footy in the Gladstone Appeal.
The Power's fate hangs in the balance. Another loss, and they can kiss this season goodbye.
Oh, what a night!
10's Rumble at the Dome, Essendon Port Adelaide, live 6:30 tonight.
AFL Saturday on 10.
14.
What are you doing?
I'm counting.
In Dreamland's huge red tag stock take sale, we've stopped counting, we're discounting.
Like a Dreamlander ensemble, say $400, and Space Age Visco ensembles only $16.99. And you won't beat this 4-piece bedroom suite for only $9.99, including the mattress.
So stop counting, we're discounting. And if anyone says that they can bet a Dreamland's red tag stock take sale, tell them they're dreaming. Dreamland.
It could be a part or a spare. It might be just one or a pair. A dozen, a score. There's one thing for sure. You'll never know what you'll find there.
Paramount Browns. All kinds of stuff new and second-hand. And now open Saturdays till 4 p.m.
You'll find it in kilos and pounds. You'll find it on heaps and on mounds. In gallons and litres. In yards and in metres. You'll find it at Paramount Browns.
Cash for scrap. 99 Cavan Road, Cavan.
You'll find it at Paramount Browns. Hi. Cappuccino, please.
McCafe. Now there's a thought.
That's it, Trev. I've had enough. I've been stuck like this for 6 weeks since the car wash accident, and I still haven't heard boo from my insurance company. 6 weeks, Trev. Pass me the phone. I'm going to give them a piece of my mind. Thank you. Very funny, Trevor.
Okay, time for our blast from the past now. This guy was a superstar back in the 70s and 80s and in fact played in the Crows' very first game. Do you know who it is?
You know this, I think.
No, I don't care what you think. Forget about that. No, I've had enough of you today. I really, really have. You're sooking, you're whinging. It's just not on. I'm going to go and spend some time catching up with my mate, David Marshall.
Whips out a long handball, hit and hope that one. Oh, comes on to Marshall. He bops towards goal. One bounce, 30 metres closing. Puts it on its way. Another goal. Brilliantly done.
I'm just running my own business. We're into fashion, clothing and a bit of sporting goods still. So we're just trying to make $1 out of all that.
Goes to the half-forward line. Marshall, beautiful mark.
Well, I finished playing at Glenelg, so I had the 2 years at the Crows, and then they gave me a testimonial year in '93. Yes, I'm coaching down at Brighton in the Southern Footy League, so I've done the juniors for about 4 years down there, and I've just taken on the A grade last year. We finished third, and doing it again this year.
Marshall goes in long. That's a beautiful kick, and he's booted his second goal.
Well, Johnny Schneebeck was helping me at Brighton, which is good because his lad plays there, and you don't see everyone because you're moving different directions, but you catch up with a few guys at the footy every now and then. Lots of players and lots of characters, and for us, I suppose Max Maynard was a bit of a character, and Steve Copping was always the prankster with his sheep's balls in soup and all that sort of stuff, so he was always good at that. But there was lots. Grenville Dietrich obviously was a character, but I think every team had them, it was a good era. Oh, well, you play to win grand finals, and we played in a lot of them, but only won a couple, so they're pretty special. Obviously the involvement with the Crows in the first Crows game was definitely a highlight, and just playing in that environment later in my career was just a fantastic experience. I reckon it's very average. It's really just a game of keepies off, and I suppose back in our era it was all man on man, and you're taught to make a contest, and now to make a contest you give away 50 and you get reported and all that sort of stuff. So I must say I enjoy watching it, but I don't actually like the way it's played.
He hooks it out to Marshall, left footer, lines it up, it's going to go through. What a goal!
Yes, good to see David Marshall looking so fit and well.
He does look good.
If this doesn't get you excited, nothing in the universe will get you excited. The World Cup.
The World Cup soccer?
Yeah.
Now that is exciting. See how all of a sudden there's a different persona about me?
There is.
That is exciting.
In your step. You should be working
Crows
on a
and Port
show.
Adelaide, take it or leave it. Soccer is good.
You should be working on a show called Simply Soccer.
I might have to.
That could be the way to go.
Speaking about the World Cup, Sky City, now there's a place to get excited at. We'll be showcasing all 64 games, believe it or not, of the World Cup, starting on June the 10th and concluding with the finals on July the 10th. It is going to be a big month of the very best in sport.
It's been exciting during the week, of course. The game against Greece, the Socceroos, just the energy that's built up right around the country. It's going to get bigger and bigger and bigger as the World Cup gets near. But it's in Marble Hall. They're getting to Sky City. You must be over 18 years of age. But if you want to watch the World Cup, this will be the place to do it.
Now, Wiz, that is going to be a big month. I'm excited.
It will be. Hey, I want to go back to last week's game. I picked a couple of things out from the Crows and Ports. What's the matter?
Talk to the hand.
Oh, you're sooking again.
I don't want to talk footy today.
Hey, look, we talked about the basketball tactics in the game last week. Of course, they're chipping around the keepings off, and no one really liked that. But I'll tell you what, I saw some of the more... Oh, forget about that. We're talking footy. And the Crows' problem was, of course, their lack of contested possessions, but there were some other interesting things to come out of it. Watch this. There were some interesting things to come out of the game with the Tigers.
Edwards kicks it forward. Cracker. Strong stuff from Cracker. Stood underneath, took the pressure, and has marked 55 from goal.
There's been a lot of talk during the week about the so-called basketball game between Adelaide and Richmond, but take a look at this. I've never seen a team take the ball from their defensive 50 arc to their forward 50 without touching it. As the Tigers try to maintain possession and run down the clock, they pass back and put the Crows in a scoring position in the dying seconds. The Crows were let down all day by their lack of contested possessions, pure and simple. This was one example, but more pressure by Adelaide could have created more turnovers. Even just one here in the dying seconds could have pinched the match for the Crows. In contrast, watch young Andrew Rains, number 4 for Richmond. He did turn the ball over and almost gave the Crows victory. But watch how hard he works to create a contest when he does make his mistake and he prevents Adelaide's last-ditch effort.
Great tackle, that's it! Richmond! Oh, sensational victory here!
It was a great performance by the Tigers, but expect to see the Crows hunt and contest much harder this afternoon. As for Port, well, they say they're in developing mode, so expect to see these guys play a bigger role in the coming weeks and months. Their assistant coaches will become vital in turning their young players into AFL footballers. While Jeff Morris is in charge of this area, I think this guy, former Cat Brenton Sanderson, will be very important. He's well respected by the young players at Alberton and has loads of experience with more than 200 games of AFL footy to his credit. Likewise, Matthew Primus also fits this mould, and we know he has a great rapport with the team. So let's see how they go working in this area over the next few weeks and into the future.
Well, Wiz, that's a very interesting theory you've got there.
Yes, we've had a lot of interesting theories on Simply Footy, and the world is taking notice. We had Rue's goal kicking the other week. Everyone was talking about that.
I think the universe is taking notice of your theories.
Yeah, well, I'm glad you're getting excited.
No, they are. They're good theories. They are. They really are. Now, hey, listen, you were supposed to go to Paramount Browns.
Yeah, I did, and I got your present. It's right there.
And how appropriate, given that we're not getting on too much these days, is this?
Good. No admittance. You stay. I like that. You stay in your box. Alf will be happy with these. He's got stacks of these. I'm going to build you a cage. I might even build you a house out of these. Get out and see Alf at Paramount Browns and get a couple of these for yourself. Whilst we keep Poppy in his box, we've got plenty more to come on the show after the break. All the emotion from up north as football does its bit to help out in the Gladstone Appeal.
Rove, have you noticed more and more people wearing glasses?
Yeah.
You can always trust Rove to put on a good spectacle.
Could I try them on? Ooh-wee. Child, you as blind as a bat, ain't you?
You gotta see Rove Tuesday. 14.
What are you doing?
I'm counting.
In Dreamland's huge red tag stock take sale, we've stopped counting, we're discounting.
Like a Dreamlander ensemble, say $400, and Space Age Visco ensembles only $16.99. And you won't beat this 4-piece bedroom suite for only $9.99, including the mattress.
So stop counting, we're discounting. And if anyone says that they can bet a Dreamland's red tag stock take sale, tell them they're dreaming. Dreamland.
XCOM Education gave me the skills and the stepping stone I needed to start my new career in IT.
With their Express IT course, XCOM guarantees you a job in the IT industry within 4 months.
It's your future. It's your choice. Get a guaranteed job in IT like I did. It changed my life.
Call XCOM today, a leading Australian IT education provider. Register for a free information session on 13 46 48. XCOM.
Gotta get a Roadstar from Maytal Caravans for quality and value, yeah, Roadstar is the brand. Gotta get a Roadstar from Maytal Caravans, a Roadstar from Maytal Caravans.
G'day, I'm John May.
Ben May. Scott May.
And you will find the Roadstar range now at 602 to 606 North East Road, Holden Hill.
Gotta get a Roadstar, yeah, Roadstar is the brand, a Roadstar from Maytal Caravans.
Timber flooring? Well, this is it! SA's largest floating floor expo! Container loads direct from Germany! Free demos daily, free do-it-yourself kits! And this weekend only, our lowest price ever on beach, $13.95 a metre! Hurry, look on!
XCOM gave me the skills I needed to start my new career in IT.
With their Express IT course, XCOM guarantees you a job in the IT industry within 4 months. Register for a free information session on 13 46 48. XCOM.
I'm going to give them a piece
Okay, thanks to RAA Insurance, we're on the search for a star. If you know anyone who's pretty special, send us a photo or videotape to Simply Footy and they could appear on the show. This week's star is Max Oborn. Take a look at him here in action. He's a big lad with a strong body. Couldn't Port do with his marking power in the forward line at the moment. Probably taking developing youth to the extreme, but maybe he will be at Alberton in a few years' time. So it's as easy as that. Just email or post your photo or video and a new star could be unearthed here on Simply Footy.
Good on you, Maxie. Look, sounded good. Couldn't quite see you, I'm afraid.
I'm loving this. This is the best thing I've ever picked up from Paramount Browns. It's my ad guard and it is keeping you at bay.
And let me just say that I'm happy here too.
You're going to stop whinging behind the guard, I can tell you that much. Hey, we've still got plenty more to come on the show. Don't forget, if you would like to win $1,000 for yourself or your sporting club, our McDonald's competition, just go to our website, www.10.com.au/simplyfooty. Click on the McDonald's icon and enter there. We'll have more money to give away in the coming weeks. Hey, now, on a serious note, and it's hard to be serious with you stuck in that guard behind that box, but we have part 2 of our Gladstone story, and it has been an amazing story too, and it's been fantastic the way the footy community has rallied in the Gladstone Appeal.
Match day in the Mid-North and the Southern Flinders Tigers head to Wilmington to take on the BMW Lions. 2 young boys emerge as men in the Junior Colts division. The 2 sons of Darren Millington take the field for the first time since the death of their father.
Darren Millington was just an outstanding man. His kids are growing up in his shadow. He's set a fine example for them, and those kids are showing that example today.
Their coach, Gary Harris, lost his son Damien in the same disaster. The tears have flowed since the tragedy, yet today the town unites to move forward. The sentiment perhaps best described by one of footy's oldest cliches, 1 week at a time.
It's our first day that we've come out into the sunshine.
to do something enjoyable. It's given us a chance to escape from the trauma.
The A-grade side, once led by Damien Harris, follows the grieving families of their lost teammates onto the field before a minute's silence. It's the simplicity and routine of what they do this and every week that holds the Tigers together. Standing on the paddock with your mates, about the guy beside you, and looking out for each other. And while the Lions presented a big ask for the boys, returning to what unites the team and the flow-on effect for the town was the real victory. A 12-goal loss, never easy to swallow, but in a town where football plays a pivotal role, the legacies of Damien Harris, Matt Keeley and Darren Millington will live on, as long as the Tigers are on the prowl.
Thanks very much to Chris Campy, Alex Hart and Alan Murrell for putting those Gladstone pieces together for us. And if you would like to make a donation to the Gladstone Appeal, just get in contact with the SANFL down at West Lakes and they will gladly take any donations. Well, that's it for another episode of Simply Footy. Best invention we've ever come up with. You still there, mate? You can't do that. That's very, very rude. The Crows game's not far away. Perhaps that will fire him up. Until next week, from me and from the bloke in the box, bye for now.